Positive energy all the time. Good to see you all. So today I'm going to talk about how Diddy beat the feds. First, though, shout out your city. I'm representing Chicago, Illinois. Shout out to everybody over on Kick, everybody on Twitch, everybody on YouTube, and everybody on Facebook. So shout out your city. We got Bristol in the building. Rep your city. Rep your city. We got, okay, the chat's moving so fast. Let me, got to keep up with the chat. Okay. Rock Hill is in the building. South Carolina, San Francisco, California's in the building. Neptune, New Jersey in the building. Columbus is in the building. Columbus, Mississippi. We got Boston, Massachusetts in the building. We got McDonough, Georgia. We got Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Miami, Florida is in the building. We got King George, Atlanta in the building. Y'all come on in, represent. We got Cleveland, Ohio in the building. Yes, indeed. So, yeah, the verdict came out on the Diddy trial. I was up working really till early in this morning. And then I forced myself to get up because I'm like, well, they're going to read the verdict today for sure. Those jurors, like I said, it's a 4th of July. They not finna be in there. So it's going to be what it is. A holiday coming up. And they like, listen, man, hey, we got to get out of here. And they wanted to get out there. They wanted to get out of there early. Yeah, they wanted to get out there early. They was not gonna they was not gonna wait till July the 3rd. And they didn't want to come back after no long 4th of July holiday. So they went in there and they knocked it out. They wanted to get out of there. I knew the verdict was gonna come today, whatever the verdict is. Can I read us the verdicts? Let me find the verdicts. Basically, he got prostitution. Basically. Basically. He did not get the RICO. Let me find the verdicts for you. Yeah, he did not get the RICO. I gotta wait for the updates. I'm trying to show them to you rather than read them. So I'm gonna try to show them to you. If we can get somebody to, well, I guess I could read them. I'm gonna have to read them. That's gonna be the only place where it's gonna be where I'll be able to update it. They haven't posted the pictures yet of it. Yeah. And then we'll talk about what I think about it. Okay, here we go. So here are the verdicts right here. On count one, racketeering, he was found not guilty. On count two, trafficking, he was found not guilty. Those are the main ones. And count four, trafficking, he was found not guilty. And that saved him right there. Those three saved him. Those were the ones. Count one could be life, right? Count two, the trafficking, that's going to be a lot of years. Count four, that trafficking, if he's found for guilty for the other trafficking, he was looking at some time. So all he got was transportation to engage in prostitution and transportation to engage in prostitution for the two ladies. One for one lady, one for the other lady. So one for Cassie and one for Jane Doe. So by not being found now guilty for count one, two, and four is a big deal, a real big deal. That's a real big deal. Okay. And so that's why I use the term beat the feds, because he didn't really beat the cases. He was found guilty on two cases, but he did well to get charges that, they might give him time served, or he might do a few more months, because he did 10 months. So most likely they'll give him some type of probation or something. They'll probably let him go home today, actually. He'll probably walk out of there. He gets to keep all his bond money back. Oh, boy, I know he's happy about that. So everything he put up for bond, he gets all that back. I know he's happy about that. And he'll be able to, they might let him walk. They might let him go on home. I mean, he served 10 months. He served 10 months. He haven't had a federal charge. He doesn't have he doesn't have criminal charges or nothing like that. So they'll do something light. That's yet to be determined, but they'll do something light. And that'll be that. And as I said yesterday to all the young brothers watching me, you don't want to go through that. You don't want to go through that. You don't want to go through what he went through. Today was the worst for him. Okay? It was the worst before he got the verdicts. And when he had to sit there and wait for them to read the verdicts, man, you have no idea what that's like. I've been there. And it's like, when they read the verdict, and let's say they find you guilty, it's not over. Because now you got to get sentencing. So like in my case, I was looking at 8 to 40. So if they would have said guilty, that would have been the first hard blow. Then I would have had to come to court again to find out, am I going to get the 8? Am I going to get 10? Am I going to get 20? Am I going to get the whole 40? You see what I'm saying? So he still took a loss. He was found guilty for 2 crimes. He had to go through all that humiliation. And so it's not a win. Okay. Much respect to Malika for the cash app. And so he didn't win. Okay. But he didn't get the worst end of the stick. He did well considering. You know, he did really well. He really escaped a big headache. You know, he's not going to have to serve all that time in prison and all of that. And so this is not a matter of your innocence, right? It's not a matter of your innocence. It's a matter of, can they prove the case? And so to young brothers, like I tell you again, don't let these people that's all emotional in this, don't pay that much attention, because there's no emotions involved. It's how the justice system works. And it's not a bench trial, it's a jury trial. So you've got 9 people and or 12 or however many's in the jury. Let me see. Okay, 12 jurors. So you got 12 people in the jury. Hold on a second. My computer was unplugged. You have 12 people in the jury. So your hands is in the 12 people. With all those charges, you don't know which charges, right? You don't know which charges are. They said 8 of them were men. I don't think they were black. I think 8 were men, but I'm not sure. I have to find out. And so then you have to go and uh, it's not a matter it's not a simple matter of you being guilty or whatever. It's a matter of proving your case. You figured he'd beat the 3 life sentence charges when Casey initially ain't paid him as such a monster. Casey didn't paint him as a monster, and neither did Jane Doe. Neither one painted him as a monster. Uh, what saved him is the fingerprints coming up missing from the car bombing. That's what saved him. What saved him is whatever happened, where the fingerprints came up missing from the car bombing. Because if those fingerprints could tie him to the car bombing, he'd definitely get in racketeering. Okay? So that's what saved him right there. As far as Jane Doe and Casey, like I've been saying, they were not typical witnesses. They were co-conspirators. Now, like I've been saying from the very beginning, this case was simply to cover the fact of the raids. I repeat myself because people have a selective hearing. So I'm going to make my stance so people won't be tripping. My stance still remains the same. They went into the house to retrieve, this is just my theory. They went into the house to retrieve video and footage of a bunch of high profile people They may have retrieved everything, or they may have just retrieved some. This is why, after the raids, he was free for a long time before they grabbed him. So, right there, if you know anything about crime, you know right there something is different. Because when they raid you, they put you in cuffs then. So, for him to get raided and then not be arrested for a long time afterwards is interesting. And so my theory has always been that this trial was to cover up the raid. Okay? This trial was to cover up the raid. And even the hotel footage does not show who was really at that hotel. And this trial was designed to protect a lot of people and to change the image of a freak off from a lot of people to just 3 people. They did a good job with that. So right now, the powerful people that was at the freak offs just won, because now for the average American, a freak off is just Diddy, a chick, and a dude. You know what I mean? And that's they you know, they did it. They did it. They did it. They pulled it off. They pulled it off. So nobody's going to be throwing names around no more. Nobody's going to be saying who was at the freak offs. They pulled it off. And so they didn't care. And you got to go back and watch my live stream, because people don't listen well. I told you they don't care. I told you they didn't care if he went to prison or not. All they wanted to do was change the image of a freak off. That's it. That's it. They didn't care, nothing like that about him. They're trying to protect the people that was at the freak offs and get rid of the image of the freak offs. That's all this was really about. And then throw him out there, and if he sink or swim, they wouldn't have cared either way. They didn't care like that. So I don't know. Maybe people came and thought I would be emotional, but I told this. I got to go watch all my coverage on it. I was always saying that. You know what I'm saying? I thought that they might find him guilty, but it's a jury. It's a jury. So you might think, but it's a jury. And the jury is like flipping a coin. You know what I'm saying? You ain't nothing set in stone until they read the verdicts. Until they read the verdicts. All right. You know what I'm saying? Until they read the verdicts. You understand? How does the powers that be react and move forward with this after these verdicts? Or they arrest them for something else. Okay? That's how they move. Yeah, they ain't worried about it. They already did what they had to do. They protected their clients and made sure that nobody is saying nothing about no freakouts. That was their only mission. Their mission was to clear everybody to go in there and get any photos or any video footage out of his home, to shut him down, to protect all of the people that was, and to change the image of the freak out. That's it. They did what they mission accomplished. And then they'll go back and deal with him later because he knows too much. He's not, listen, he's not free like that, okay? Okay? He's walking right out of one case into another one that just happened to get filed when the jury went to deliberate. It was amazing. Wow. All of a sudden, June 27th, just a few days ago, here's the lawsuit against Diddy and his son for gang rape. Wow. Well, what do you know? So, part one is taken care of. Nobody's going to be talking about the freak offs, and they won't be putting people's names in the freak offs. That's a win. And now they'll deal with him. This is how the game go. You understand? This is how the game go. They could deal with him anytime. They're not desperate like that. They're not like the people's going to be cheering that he got free, or the people that would be cheering if he got arrested. This the feds, man. This the big boys. They don't have emotions. They won. The feds won what they was trying to do. Now, I said he beat the feds because he beat the Ricos. Nah, he might go home today. Nah, them couple charges, he ain't got no priors. Nah, he going on. If they make him serve any time, won't be number 2 or 3 months, but they ain't gonna even do that. He got too much money. He gonna, at the most, he'll get probation. He'll get some type of probation. He's going on. You understand? So yeah, he beat getting the racketeering. Yeah, he beat the racketeering. He didn't win the cases. He was found guilty on 2 cases, but yeah, he beat the feds in terms of racketeering. In terms of racketeering, yep. And he walked out. Now, we didn't get to watch it. We didn't get to watch the trial and the jury. So for most of us, we was at a disadvantage. We had to get like secondhand information, people tweeting what's going on, so we wasn't able to look at the people's faces. So when we wasn't able to look at the people's faces, we wasn't able to check it out. You know what I'm saying? So we weren't able to look at the people's faces. We wasn't able to watch the trial. What's your name? Short and sweet. What you think about it? Do you have any emotions in it, or what's going on with you? Is it emotional for you, short and sweet? Like you got some type of emotional, like, uh, what's up with you? He didn't get 20. Uh, he's not got no time for the charges that he got. He didn't get no time for the charges he got. Nah, nobody's running. Diddy's just going from one case to another case. He's got problems. He knows too much. What I've been telling y'all, I said what? He knows too much. They online saying he got 20. Uh, he got 20 for the transportation. Okay, let me look and see. Oh, wow. They say he still faces 20 years. Jesus Christ. Wow. 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 So he doesn't have 20 years. They say he could face 20 years. Wow. Look, the jury's verdict was announced on the third day of deliberation. It could still send Combs at 55 years old to prison for as long as 20 years and is likely to end his career. Uh, wow. Now, the 20 years. Yeah, the 20 years is based on this. The 20 years is based on out of these five charges. I forgot that. All they had to do was get him for two. I forgot that. The only way he would have been scot free is if he only get one. But if he was to get if for this type of charge, if he's found guilty of two of these charges, yes, he's in trouble. So I'm not sure why they were jumping to conclusions and saying that he might go home, he might get probation and all of that. That was bad reporting because, yes, out of the five charges, right, they was saying that, you know what I'm saying? If they run concurrently, you got a good point. If they run concurrently, he probably won't get to 20. But once again, listen, once again, uh, to the young brothers watching, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Stay out of trouble. Because now, once again, he's got to go through another sentence. So now he's got to go through the sentencing. And just like this, the sentencing is, it's up in the air. They're saying at most 3 to 4 years. Three to 4 years. And if he get 3 to 4, they could give him probation. They'd be like, okay, 3 to 4, they serve, 4 years probation. So yeah, that could be 4 years probation. So that could be. But once again, could be. Because I'm not interested in all the hype. You know what I'm saying? He already did a year. So they're going to give him time served. He did a year. I don't know, but I know Illinois, they would double that. So he did 10 months. So they would give him 20 months served. Because you get double time in the county. So 10 months is 20 months. So that's almost 2 years. So yeah, he could get like a year or two probation. So he could be out when they arrest him again. Because he's most likely got more cases coming down the pipeline, depending if they were state cases and there's already a statute of limitation. Yeah, in Illinois, we get double time. So I'm not sure if that's what's going on in New York. But you have to watch and see, when your hands is in the when your hands is when your life is in their hands, it's horrible. And so me, I got no dog in the fight. I didn't care if he was found guilty or innocent. I'm not like some of them other ones out there. So I got no emotions in it. It's a fair trial, and being found guilty on 2 charges on a Fed case, it's not a joke. It's not, he's not guaranteed no slap on the wrist. You know what I'm saying? Just like it wasn't guaranteed he was going to be found guilty on everything. Nothing is guaranteed. You know what I mean? They might let him come home today. They might let him come home. But in the feds, all the charges are serious. And so for most people, they look at it and say, well, he's only got these 2 cases, which, yeah, in the state, Yeah, prostitution, 2 cases of prostitution in the state ain't no big deal. But 2 cases, 2 charges of prostitution in the feds, boy, listen, he can walk in there and they say, like they'll say, they could say 20, just like that. They could say, go home, probation. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to tell you, young brothers, man. It's a crapshoot. Uh, because this carry 5 to 20. So if they give him 10, he finna do 8. So now if the judge feel like, oh, you think things sweet, huh? Oh, you think you won, huh? 10, 15, 15. He only had to beat the 1 and 2 to escape life. Okay, let's listen. Y'all, let's get it straight. He's happy about beating 1 and 2 because no matter what, he'll come home. Let's start right there. 1 and 2, he's not coming back home. Okay? He's not coming back home. So that's why he's happy that no matter what, he coming home. But you don't want no two-fed. You don't listen, young brothers. This is not a win. This is just not as bad as it is. Okay? I didn't know how to word it, so I said Diddy beat the feds because I didn't want to say Diddy didn't beat the case. He beat the worst end of the federal case. But no, Diddy could do 20, 18, 15, 10, just like that. You have 2 federal prostitution charges. As Don Juan or whoever, beyond, I'm not a cheerleader or nothing like that. So I'm just down the middle. So I can't really go back and forth with you. It's clear, you own something. And I don't do that when I'm talking to my people. I'm just down the middle. Sentencing experts anticipate guideline range of 15 to 21 months because the case involves a conviction. Yeah. Young people, don't y'all listen to that. At the end of the day, it's whatever the judge say. Listen, y'all. Stay out the courtroom. Okay, some of these people that's in this chat, they into who win and who would in and either this and listen, y'all brothers, listen to me. That man is not gonna be relaxed until he gets sentenced. Okay, all that you could possibly get this and you could possibly get that. You could get maxed out. Period. It's not going to be up to the consultants, the newspaper. It's going to be up to the judge. And if that judge want to slam you, he going to slam you. If that judge don't want to slam you, he's not going to slam you. His hand, his life is in the hand of the judge. So now he's having a bench trial for sentencing. He had a jury trial where his hands was in the life of the jury. His sentencing is in the hand of the judge. And me, as a fair and balanced, I'm not a cheerleader against them or for them. I have to tell my audience the facts. And the facts is, you're not out of the water until you're out of the water. Ain't no, oh, they gonna do this, they gonna do nothing. You got to stand your butt up there in front of that judge, okay? And you got to wait till he sentences you. And everything other than that is what they call speculation. Now, you're going to hear a lot of speculation. Don't listen to me. Keep your emotions out of it and then report on what actually happens. That's it. Because anybody else talk about, they going to give him this, they going to give him that. Ain't no day. Ain't no day. It's no day. It's the judge now. And if that judge looking at you and thinking, oh, you think you're sweet. If that judge don't like you, if that judge don't like you, and that judge think that you're trying to make a mockery out the court, that judge will slam him through the floor. That's why I'm telling young brothers, look, stay out of this situation. Diddy is not finna be comfortable. He's just a little happy. He just got a bunch of lawyers and money that he think can maneuver a situation for him. He dodged a headshot. He ain't dodged getting hit in the body. So you got to understand what he's happy over. He's happy over an absolute amount of years. Now it's some light. It could be probation. That's what he's happy that it could be probation. They could go on. Because they're going to let him go home and the average citizen going to think that's a win. No. They're going to let you go home. They're going to still hold all your bail money until sentencing. And he's going to have to walk back in there. And when he walk back in there, it ain't guaranteed he's going to walk back out. And he's going to be standing there breathing hard because they can't cut no deal until the date of sentencing. There cannot be no deal cut now. From what I ain't never heard of that. So I ain't never heard of you being found guilty and they cut no deal before sentencing. I've never heard of that. So I might be wrong. You understand? I don't know. I don't do all that to mailman. I don't do none of that. I don't do none of that. I'm really was outside. I don't do none of that. I don't do no, listen, I'm not, y'all over here telling me this good and that. I'm not telling my audience none of that. I'm telling young brothers like it is. Your ass gonna walk in there and goddamn it, you could walk out or you cannot. Don't y'all listen to nobody. Y'all listen to me. Young brothers, don't you get out there playing with don't get out here playing with the court system. When you walk your ass in there, when he walk his ass in there, he is not going to be confident. You believe that. He got to go through the same thing he went through this morning. He got to go through that again. The same thing he just went through, he got to do that again. He got to get in front of that judge, and that judge be like, and so-and-so, 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 and so-and-so, 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 probation. Or so-and-so, 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 15 years. Just like that. They'll do that just like that. Man, that judge will say 20, just like that. Cuff them. Just like that. Don't y'all listen to these cheerleaders and these people that ain't in the courtroom that's in the chat. They don't know what the hell they talking about. I was looking at 8 to 40. And you got two sentences basically. You got the first one where they say not guilty. Then you finish. But if they say guilty of any charges, you're not finished. Because now you got to go back for sentencing. And that's not no joke. And them lawyers can't do shit about sentencing. This ain't no trial. You ain't having no trial no more. So stealing them can't do nothing. Stealing them job is done. The only thing he can do now is wait to sentencing and then try to do something after sentencing. But between now and sentencing, no, it's the same judge sentencing. He got to walk right in front of that same judge and get his time. I don't know. We ain't got to that point yet. I can't say. I don't do speculation. CJ, I don't do no speculation over here. I'm a content creator. I'm not like Sean G. I'm not like Tisa Tales. Y'all been watching them. They goofies. They was cheerleaders. They horrible reporters. I'm a professional. I don't know. I'm right down the middle. I'm not going to give you no fake analysis how he could get away with it. I'm not going to give you no fake analysis how he going to prison forever. I'm telling you, don't nobody know what going to happen at sentencing, period. Okay? That's what I'm telling you. You can beg for leniency, but let me tell you something about these judges, which I've been in front of a few. And like I said, my last one, I was looking at 8 to 40. I didn't make it to sentencing because I was found not guilty. So my day, like his day, it was over for me totally. It's not over for him. He was found guilty on 2 federal charges of prostitution. Do you know pimps go to jail for a long time? Ask Pimpin' Ken. Ask Don Juan. Prostitution, you get slammed for prostitution. You go to prison a long time for prostitution. I don't know if y'all know that. Why you think so many pimps quit? Remember the Pimps Up, Hoes Down documentary? When the Pimps Up, Hoes Down documentary came out, all them pimps went to prison. They busted them. They just started busting them out there because they felt like that documentary was promoting them. And that's why he Bishop Don Magic Wand and he ain't really calling himself no pimp. That's why it's the players ball. It ain't the pimp ball. Okay? They had to understand? I don't know. I don't do speculation, man. How many times I got to tell you that? I don't do speculation. So I don't know why you in my chat with the speculation when I already told you I don't really appreciate speculation over here. Well, how many times I got to say it? I don't want my audience looking at no speculation. You bad for my audience, the mailman. You giving them bad information. You ain't helping brothers stay out of prison. You're giving them bad information. Ain't no speculation, young black man. You understand? Ain't no speculation. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm gonna help you out. Okay? It's real simple. Don't listen to no damn speculation. When you get up there, your head gonna be in the guillotine. In the guillotine. Okay? Don't listen to the mailman. The mailman, he just a mailman. He ain't make as many deliveries as I made. That's a fact. I made real deliveries. Okay? He just a boy in the chat. You know what I'm saying? See, talking that old man stuff. Who you think will win if he faced me out here on these Chicago streets? You really think the mailman have a chance out here on these streets with me? He don't even know who the hell you talking to. You don't retire from this. What I used to do, there is no retirement. There is no you calm down. There is no you get better. There is no you get less dangerous. I will never get less dangerous. All we get is more efficient. All we get is better with getting away with situations. So you got a worse chance with me now than you had with me 20 years ago. You really, nobody will know what happened to you. Diddy could get 20 years in the feds. That's what I'm trying to tell him, CJ. He could get 20. It's just amazing that the black man don't know the history of going to court in these European courtrooms and getting maxed out. It's just amazing that nobody's taking race into consideration and understand that this is a black man in the European system and that they'll do him really dirty. But you got to wait till that happens, and then you'll start screaming racism. The man's in the European system, and he's a black man. And he knows too much. That's speculation, throttle up. That's speculation. Anything you saying that ain't happened is speculation. You got to put might, throttle up. You got to say Trump might pardon if you want to be correct. You got to put might to say Trump will pardon him. I don't know. It seems like, I don't know, that sounds unprofessional. You know what I'm saying? That's what, there you go. He might. It's a whole lot of mights. He might get probation. He might get 2 years. He might get 20 years. He might get 5 years. I don't know. It's a might. It's a might. So what you want, I'm not going to speak on a might. What do you want me to say about a might? That's why you got to go back to court to see. None of that's going to happen today. None of that's going to happen today. What will happen today is they got to decide if they're going to let him go home and come back for sentencing. Do they feel like he can go home and come back to sentencing, or do they feel he's still a flight risk, that he still might be scared of the 20 years and hold him? They can hold him. They could hold him. If I'm the judge and I already got in my mind, I'm finna give you 17 or 20, am I gonna let you go home? No, I'm not. I don't think people understand what's going on, so it's hard to talk to people. If I'm the judge and I'm planning to slam you through the floor, I'm not letting you go home. The feds ain't mad. The feds got them for 20 if they want them. You see, some of these people are teaching these young people the wrong information. They talking to them like it's a state case. Young black man, there is no cool federal convictions, man. It don't exist. There's no such thing as a light-hearted federal conviction. I don't know what the hell y'all they thinking. I don't know what the hell they teaching y'all. Listen, the real streets, real criminals will tell you this is a Fed case, period. 2 guilty verdicts in a Fed case is bad, okay? That's why they throw 5 charges at you, so they can get you for 2. The only way he could win is just get 1. They've been telling you that he can't get 2. He cannot get found guilty on 2. Now, he got guilty on the 2 lessers. So that means I did something this called 25 years and this whole 15. So you telling me if I don't do 25 years and I do 15, you're going to cheer? Because they say, okay, not guilty on the 25 years, guilty on the 15 years. That's not no win, though. That's 15, you know. But I guess this is not a win in the feds. But I guess. I don't know. I know people get state mixed up with the feds. It's the feds. Guilty with the feds is not YSL. Okay? Still was state. That was the state. If Young Thug had that case in feds, he'd be locked up right now. He'd be gone if he had a Fed case. He'd be gone bye-bye. Okay? All right? If Young Thug was found guilty in the Fed case, he would not be walking around. They don't do none of that. You going to prison. They don't give a damn if it's 3 years. You're going to do that 3. You ain't getting no goddamn none of that with the feds. You are not getting none of that state stuff. There's people over here talking about state stuff. They might let him go home for sentencing. If they let him go home for sentencing, they like this. Let him go home for sentencing. The judge thinking, I ain't going to do nothing but give him 5. So hopefully he run and we can keep all these millions. These is gangsters. So if they ain't trying to give you that much time and you still got all that bail money up and you want to run and give all that money to the government, they with that. Y'all don't know this gangster stuff. The government is gangsters too. This gangster, they got his money. So if they absolutely don't care if they lock him up, they'll take the money and let him run out there with Russell Simmons if he want to. And take the money. It's a cold ass game, y'all. They got his money. How much money he put up for bail? Cause I don't see them letting him go home without no money though. He's gonna have to put up some money to walk out of there. I can't see them just letting them walk out of there with no money up though. I'm not sure how that worked, but I don't think it worked like that. I think if he want to cut a deal, he got to cut a deal. I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure. What's the real crime is prostitution. It's prostitution. Okay, here you go. See, this way you don't know what you're talking about. See, let me share it if people don't know what you're talking about. Where's the real crime? All consenting adults. Diddy didn't force them to prostitute. The male was a prostitute and got paid for sex. That is illegal. That prostitution is based on money, not sex. Diddy paid the sex worker to sleep with them women. That is prostitution. It has prostitution that has nothing to do with sex. It has something to do with sex for money. And if it's sex for money, it's not like you just having fun. It's pimping. It's prostitution. Sex without money is what you're talking about. Okay? So if you have sex with me and then I give you some money, that's not prostitution. But if I give you money to have sex with me, that is prostitution. This is why I'm telling young brothers, do not listen to these people in the chat that are not criminals, that don't know about crime, that is basically working people, that are not in the streets, that haven't been in the courtrooms, that don't be around pimps and don't be around gangsters. They don't know what they're talking about. They haven't been in the county jails for a long period of time. They haven't been in the Fed joint. So don't listen to them. Because when you go to court, it's going to be a learning experience. You're going to find out a lot of this stuff is wrong that they telling you. So brothers, especially the brothers, listen to me. Don't listen to these people. They just at home typing. It's not like that when you go in that courtroom. Diddy's going to be sick to the stomach every day still. He's not going to be relaxed. His stomach's going to be turning until sentencing. This is a fact. Now, if you ain't never had to walk in them courthouses, I can't tell you. I can't explain to you what it's like when you wake up the day you got to go to court. And when you go to court, if he go to court and they let him out of there, he'll still be sick until that next morning, even if he's happy. What that's going to do to his body, it's not going to go away if he walk out. He ain't beat nothing. He got 2 Fed cases. So when I said he beat the Feds, that's why I didn't say he beat the case. Y'all notice my words. I said he beat the Feds, meaning that he didn't get maxed out. I used my words, but he didn't beat no case. To the young brothers out there, you don't want no Fed cases. And when you got a bunch of charges, you're not even close to winning unless you get convicted for only one. All the Feds had to do was get 2 to get him. All they needed was 2 guilties out of the 5. That's all they needed. And with them 2 guilties, your goose is cooked unless they cut you a break. So the Feds didn't get what they wanted to get, but them 2 is not good for Diddy. It's the Feds, y'all. Ask any criminal. When you get off this line, go find people that been doing crime and ask them what's up with 2 Fed cases. Ask them how would they respond if they got charged with 2 federal prostitution cases, and see what some real criminals gonna tell you. Go talk to some real criminals. But make sure they know about the Feds, because if they're in the state, they're gonna talk about it like a state case. 2 prostitution charges with the state? All right, yeah. With the feds? With the feds? All criminals hate the feds. The feds, when you say the feds, it's like you said, the devil. You know what I'm saying? On the streets. Is there anybody in the streets that know how much the word feds? Don't nobody want no case with the feds. Just the fact you got a fed case, you done messed up. You didn't messed up. You done, the fact he got a fed case, it's not good no kind of way. He's happy because at least he's not finna do a life sentence. So today the sentence was, okay, you going home eventually. That was his sentence today, basically. So that's why he's happy, because they told him today, okay, you going home, basically. That's why he happy, because he going home as long as he stay alive. So now he know at least he going home. Because if he charged with that racketeering, he ain't never going home. So this is why they happy. They're not happy because this is a win. They're happy because he's a certain age. And now with these cases, he, no matter if it's the worst, he's going home. So you say, so now it's legal to buy these things. No, let's deal with that. There's crimes you do, and then the case got to be proven. So when the court don't prove the case, it doesn't have anything to do with whether you did it or not or whether it was bad. It just means they haven't met the burden of proof. So if they pull me over and I got 10 keys in the car, 10 kilos in the trunk, and I go to court and I beat the case, it don't mean that I was in the right. It just means that they wasn't able to have the burden of proof to actually totally pin it on me, but I'm straight up still, I had 20 keys in the car. This is what people don't understand. It's the difference between what you're doing and the burden of proof. The burden of proof, if they don't reach the burden of proof, that don't mean you innocent. Not at all. That just means they couldn't prove you guilty. That's all. That don't mean you're not guilty in real life, though. That just means based on the court procedures, they were not able to get you. For example, the fingerprint missing from firebombing Kid Cudi car. He going bye-bye if they got them fingerprints and he's on them fingerprints or somebody's fingerprints on there that was with him and they could prove he was there. He gone. Then the prosecutor did certain things we don't know why. They didn't, D-Rock didn't have to testify, which they probably figured that wasn't going to be no big deal anyway. And then by the women being Cody's, it was a crapshoot because the women's is criminals. Cassie is a criminal. Jane Doe, those both criminals. Them hoes. They could get prostitution charges. They can get sex trafficking charges too, because the prostitutes wasn't them. The prostitutes was the dude. The punisher is the prostitute. So a lot of y'all don't understand. They wasn't never the prostitute. Casey wasn't a prostitute. Jane Doe wasn't a prostitute. The male was the prostitute. That's why some of y'all don't understand the case. He being charged prostitution from flying the man in, not the girls. The prostitution charge is over the dude that he was paying to do the sex. He paid the man to do the sex. He didn't pay them to do the sex. The prostitution is the man. That's why a lot of people don't understand the prostitution charges. The prostitution charges is federal because he flew the man in from another state, crossed state lines. That's the prostitution. You fly a male sex worker in from one state to another state. So he lucky because that's trafficking. He got a break with trafficking. He was trafficking though. But the jury don't know what it means. So like you taking a case to the jury and the jury don't know what this stuff means. So the jury ain't able to find him guilty because they don't know the law. They don't know that. They don't really know what trafficking is. They're like, that don't sound like trafficking, so they let him go. The jury, he got away because the jury don't understand the terms and what he was doing, basically. If the jury understood trafficking and all that, that man would have got life. That'd be your little escape if the jurors don't know what's going on. They just regular people. Because if them was law people, yeah, he'd be gone. But they regular people, so they don't know what the hell is trafficking. There ain't no trafficking. They think trafficking, that's the only reason they got a break, because they charge them with something that the people wouldn't understand. They thinking it's something different. Let's take a break. Cassie, she got 30 million and she was pregnant. Jane Doe kept saying, I need him to pay my bills. So she was weak. The fingerprints came up lost from the car bombing. And so they didn't have him like they wanted him. They didn't have him like they wanted him. Jane Doe didn't bring nothing to the table. If it was based on the women, he would have walked. The reason he's in trouble is because of the man. That's why he's not in trouble, because of the women. He in trouble because of the man. The man paying for the sex worker, and that's what got him in a lot of trouble. I mean, conclusions, people going to do that. They're going to speculate and jump to conclusions. I thought for sure that they would find him guilty. But my for sure was a half, only 50% for sure. Because a lot of us, we had to try to speculate on what we thought could possibly happen without being able to see the trial. And when you can't see the trial, like all those content creators, we didn't get to see the trial. We had to read it. We had to read tweets. So it's you really can't get a good feel for the courtroom or nothing, like the people that was able to be in the courtroom or be in the building and watch it. they was able to get a better feel what was going on. But those of us that wasn't there, we wasn't able to get a good feel for what's going on because it wasn't televised. So we didn't have no choice but to kind of speculate. And for me, I thought for sure he was going to be found guilty, but I wasn't sure on which charges. And so, as far as me saying him being found guilty, I was 100% right. In a way, he lost because all the feds needed was 2 charges. For Diddy to totally win, he needed 1 charge or no charge. He did not need 2 out of 5. But they feel like the 2 out of 5, at least they was the 2 lesser charges instead of the 2 out of the 5 being a higher charge. So this is why they're acting somewhat like a win. They're acting somewhat like a win because even though Diddy lost and got 2 of the charges, he got 2 of the lesser charges. He didn't get that first charge, which is life. He didn't get that second charge, which is like 15 or 20 or something. It's crazy. It's crazy numbers. So that's like you're in a bad situation where somebody say, 2 big old men gonna beat you up or they're gonna throw you in the alligator pit. And they say, okay, we're not gonna throw you in the alligator pit. And so you happy because you're just gonna get beat up real bad. That's kind of like what it's like. He happy because he only gonna get beat up real bad. 7 years or more, David, I don't know if you've been to court, David, or if you've been in trouble, but real G's know, it's up to the judge. So anytime it's up to the judge, it's up to the judge. So any number that I'll try to guess or whatever, because if you can get from probation to 20 years, that means you can get from probation to 20 years. So when people say, well, yeah, he could get probation, right? He can get probation. And he could get 10. He could get 5, 10, 15, 20. So that's what's crazy that they pick out the one and try to talk for the judge. But when he go to court, he not going to be nervous about no goddamn probation. He going to be praying that man don't give him 20 or 15 because it's on the table. But people talking about it, David, like the 20 ain't on the table, which is crazy. That's what's crazy to me. They talking about a Fed case like you're going to automatically get probation. In a Fed case, they carry 20. It's like, what? If he going to get probation, then they would sentence him today. There's no need for sentencing if y'all know what he going to get. That's like crazy. You know what he going to get, but he got to go to sentencing? I thought you going to sentencing because you don't know what you finna get. That's what I thought. I thought sentencing is when you find out what you're going to get. So how we know what he going to get now before sentencing? That sounds crazy. They start speculating. Well, he could. He could in the speculation. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not looking at it. Hey, David, I'm not looking at it from the point of view of a spectator. I'm looking at it like I got to go to court. And if I got to go to court, I ain't trying to hear that I'm finna get nothing. I'm hoping. I'm going in here on like, I hope I don't get. I hope. But I'm not going in here like, yeah, I'm going to get probation. I'm going to get time served. And because I was looking at 8 to 40, but I beat the case. But if I didn't beat the case, you know what I'm saying? Hey, David, if I didn't beat the case, and if the judge would have said guilty, I would have had to come back for sentencing. And then I'm coming back to sentencing, and I'm looking at 8 to 40. And there's no way in the world I would be thinking I'm going to get to 8. I'm going to be hoping I get to 8. But I'm going to be realizing I could get 8, 18, 28, or 38. So I'm not going to be comfortable. I'm finna walk in front of this judge and he just going to give me 8. I'm going to be thinking about the 40. That's all I'm going to be thinking about. I hope this dude don't give me to max me out. That's all I'm going to be thinking about. You know what I mean? Hey, Dave, all I'm going to be thinking about is I hope he don't max me out. I ain't going to, boy, that's all. That's where my stomach going to be turned. I'm looking at 40. And anybody tell you, I was 40 years old. All I'm going to be thinking about is if this go wrong when I get out, I'll be 70 or 80. That's all I'm going to be thinking. I ain't going to be thinking I'm going to be home, I'm going to be 48. You're going to be facing your max is what you're going to be worried about. Bro, you're going to be worried about your max. You can't have no optimism about no other person, what they going to do. How are you going to have optimism about a judge and what he going to do and put like some type of belief system into this man? This man going to do whatever he going to do. Bro, I'm sitting there. This is what people don't understand, G-Rod. I've been there. I'm sitting there. And you sitting there like this. And he read the verdict, bro. And you're not confident? Well, for goddamn. The judge get up there. The case carry 8 to 40. I was there. And you're in suspended animation like, and he say, not guilty. And that's what you go, Jesus Christ. I was there. Because if he say guilty, I'm in suspended animation again. This is what Diddy is going through. Only he had a bunch of charges. I had one. So this is what Diddy go through. He go through the first suspended animation, find out he got 2 cases. Now he got to go through that again. What's the sentence? And anybody saying he going to get this and he going to do that, Diddy's not going to feel like that. I don't care what Steele and them say. If the max he going to get is 20, that's all Diddy going to be thinking about when he walk in there. I hope I don't get this 20. That's what he going to be thinking about. He not going to be thinking about no parole, no probation, no 2 years, no 5 years, or none of that. He going to be thinking about that 20 piece because he looking at 20 years. Period. No matter what they type, no matter what people that ain't got to go in the courtroom say. You don't y'all listen to nobody about what he gonna get that ain't got to go sit in his seat and listen to that sentence. And them people don't know what the hell they talk about. Most of these people are civilians. These people ain't no gangsters. These people ain't no crooks. These people ain't got no cases. I got brothers talking to me. How many cases you got? Because I got a gang of cases and beat a gang of cases and been on a few probations that I was lucky to get probation with gun cases. Especially my second one. God damn it, I had a motherfucking gun case and was on probation for a gun case. And they like, nigga, you got a gun case. And they was like, nah, we want 3 years. I had just beat the 8 to 40. Listen, I got caught with a gun. After being caught with a gun. So I got a gun case that I had probably finished, got caught with a gun. And I want to tell all because my book cut out. Then I got caught with all this stuff. So I got a gun case, then I got this big giant drug case. My lawyer pushed the drug case in front of the gun case. The drug case was 8-40, like Diddy. And I'm sitting there, my father there, just me and my father, after we did the whole trial. And you got to wait for whatever the hell that judge said. Well, Diddy had a jury, so he had to wait on the jury. I had a bench trial because a jury will slam you under the goddamn floor. But Diddy don't get to choose a bench trial. He got to have a jury. And ain't nothing sweet until that judge said, not guilty. But if that judge would have said guilty, now I got to come back and find out how much time I'm going to get. And that jury found Diddy guilty of 2 charges of prostitution that carry a lot of years, a federal charge. So his happiness is temporary. By tonight, he'll be back on sked. He went from worrying about a life sentence to now worrying about a 20 years, and ain't nothing stealing them could do about it. They don't mean shit. His life is in the hands of the judge. He 50-something years old. Hold on. Diddy, 55. 20 years, he'll be 75 years old. That's a life sentence. Anybody think he cool, don't know what the hell they talking about. He not cool. That's a temporary happy that he still might could get out by 75. If he got the other ones, he wasn't never going to get out. So he cheering that at least he going to get out. Boom. That cheer going to go away real quick. While everybody else tonight going to be talking about that cheer, he going to be back worried about them 2 prostitution charges. He is not going to be like, hey, I only got 2 Fed charges. This ain't nothing. Boy, that's not going like that. That man got 2 federal charges for prostitution. Boy, you know how much time he going, boy. Hold on. Federal. Okay, so let me show you something. Let me show y'all something. See what I'm saying? See all this false information? Look. What that say? What that say for federal? What that say? Federal charges related to prostitution can result in a significant prison time, with potential penalties ranging from fines to life imprisonment, depending on specific offenses and circumstances. The severity of the penalty depends on whether the offense involves trafficking, transportation for prostitution, or other related charges. I think he avoided the trafficking. So this why they saying trafficking is a 15 years. Transportation of prostitution is 10 years. Other federal offenses, that's 20 years. state versus federal. So people saying the 20 years, so it must be the one that says other federal offenses. Okay. So that's why they not talking about him still looking at life imprisonment, because he didn't get the the trafficking. He beat the trafficking. He beat the trafficking. But man, listen, when you're a 55-year-old man, when you a 55-year-old man and you looking at 20 at 55, the people have no idea. People have no idea how long 5 years is. If you get a 10-year, man, people have no idea what it's like being in prison for 10 years, for 5 years, for 3 years. I got friends there 4 years. It's like a lifetime, 4 years in prison. I ain't did no time in jail or prison. I did time in jail. I was in jail 4 months, and 4 months in jail is like a whole year. That's why they give you double time. My 4 months in jail, if I would have been found guilty, they would have gave me 8 months off my case, because 4 years in the county jail is like 8 months in real life. So at 55 years old, you know what I mean? At 55 years old, to be looking at 10 years on each charge, he threw his life away, man. He ruined his reputation. He found guilty. So now every woman can sue him. They're going to win the lawsuit. So he's going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars in lawsuits, because he's not going to win no case against him with no woman. Any woman that was his girlfriend right now could take him. I don't know what he'll get. That's what I'm trying to tell them, Tyson. I can't speculate. I'm telling it Tyson, I'm telling it from the point of view of somebody stood up in front of the judge. I'm not telling it as just a citizen. If I'm standing in front of the judge, I don't know what I'm finna get. And this is what I'm trying to relate to these people. When he's standing in front of the judge, he don't know what he finna get. So what I look like saying what he gonna get when he don't know what he gonna get, his lawyers don't know what he gonna get. Nobody in the courtroom know what he gonna get. The only person that gonna know what he gonna get is the judge, is the only one. If he is found guilty, he might be a millionaire because he gave his mother his money. So his mama got his money. So they won't be able to sue his mama. He been transferred a lot of his wealth to his mother. So he was smart. So he'll still have money. But the question is, do you want to get out of prison 20 years from now or 10 years from now with a lot of money? Because you in prison, you can get shanked in your neck. When you're in prison, you might, or somebody might want to make you their woman. Okay? Somebody might want to make Diddy their woman. Okay? He might have to pay a lot of protection fee. But there's some people in there that if you've been beating up women, you don't want to go to prison if you've been abusing women and be locked up with some men that can't protect their women, and they take it personal. They like, that could be my daughter out there. That could be my mama. Punk nigga. You know? That's how, you know what I'm saying? He gonna have to pay a lot to stay alive in there. He not going to prison for no crime you get no respect for. I remember when they whooped Don Juan. I ain't gonna say where, but I remember when the GDs whooped and stomped out Don Juan. You know, gangsters don't like pimps. I don't know if y'all know that. I know some of the stuff. Gangsters don't like pimps. I know y'all probably don't know that. Like I said, I got a lot of stuff I don't be talking about, but I will just tell this for the sake of honesty. I remember when they whooped Don Juan, he was on the ground begging for his life. They was going I can't say what they was gonna do, but they was gonna unalive him. He was begging for his life. Because they were saying, I got a mama, you know? All right, man. If I told everything I seen and know, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to help the brothers, or I never would have told you that story. You can't go to jail with nothing on no kids, nothing on no women, nothing like that. You only respected in jail for gangster shit. It's the only thing you get respect for. Armed robbery, or selling drugs, real rough gangster criminal crime. Beating up women, children, stuff like that. Man, you gonna get marked out. And you rich, oh, you gonna have to pay. He gonna have to be somebody's bitch. He gonna have to be under somebody. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm talking from facts. I'm on the deck. Yeah, Diddy coming out like bitch ass nigga. Pick on this bitch ass nigga Diddy. What's up now, hoe ass nigga? You know, shit like that. Y'all have no idea. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be the vibe. Can't box. Yeah. You ain't never been to prison, huh, Michael? You ever been in county jail or prison? They not gonna box him. They gonna poke him. They poke in there. They don't. Man, they not gonna box him. They don't box in there. You can only box. You can only box fellow gang members. The only person I could box is a vice lord or a four corner hustler. I could box them because I'm a foe. But if you GD, I'm not boxing you. You got to get unalived. If you ain't one of the guys in the hood, in Chicago, you only can box another gang member from your gang. You know what I'm saying? When I was in the O Block, yeah, the BDs, they make them box when they fall into something and they break it up. But if you some other gang, you get smoked. I don't know, boxing. Nobody want to beat you up. It's 2025. People they not beating up. They not beating up like that. Plus, you know what I'm saying? He walk in the cell, 8 men to grab him. 2 would grab each leg and pull it open. And then you know the rest. It's not like one man do that to you. They all do you. They take turns. You gotta go to the you gotta go get soul stitched up in the back. 2 men got these each arm, 2 men got each leg, and they spread you open. It's not they don't show this on the TV. They show y'all the best version they can show you. They can't show you what really happened in there. You get totally overpowered by a lot of men. It's not like this prison. This is not like, oh, we fair, we cool. No, this is the scumbags. Look, somebody say you want that to happen to Diddy. Some people got low comprehension. Where'd you get that from? Unbelievable. Where'd you get that from? You got low comprehension, huh, Ashley? What you came in? You must have came into the middle of the conversation because we ain't even talking about Diddy. We talking about prison. But I'm saying for what he charged for, he gonna be a bitch though. Ashley. Ashley, for those charges, yeah, he gonna be a bitch though. He not gonna get no respect for no charges for that. He not gonna get no respect for that. No, he's not gonna get no respect for prostitution. He ain't gonna get no respect for beating up. Yeah, he go in there and he known for beating up a woman like that. Yeah, he's getting no respect, Ashley. Don't blame me. I'm just telling my audience the facts. And you rich too. He's gonna be key for extortion. He getting extorted right in the door. Right in the door. He gonna be up for extortion. They're gonna be fighting over here. Cause whoever get Diddy gonna be living good. They might look at him. Yeah, okay. You do know with the Fed joints, he's not going to a prison. He's going to prisons. I don't know if you understand that. He's not going to a prison. When you go to state, you go to a prison. When you go to Fed, they ship you all over the place. Yeah, he's going to prisons. When you go to Fed, if you go to Fed, they send you out to Idaho. You be out of Idaho like 8 months. They come up, El-Aton. Boom, and they ship me to Texas. I'll be in Texas for 10 months. El-Aton. And they ship me to Pennsylvania. Your family can't hardly visit you. The feds is monsters. That's why nobody wants the feds. The feds is the feds make it. The feds show you who you in there with. They make it hard. Okay? Because the feds is the feds, and they let you know you shouldn't have never got locked up with us. This not been finna be fun at all. You're not finna have no power. You are nothing. Okay? Don't get comfortable. You're not. This is not the state. You're not finna be in hanging out here with the guys. You're gonna get constantly shipped to somewhere else, and everybody else has been shipped around. So they make sure there's no camaraderie. There ain't finna be no camaraderie. You're gonna be a stranger forever till you get out. That's how that go. In the Fed, listen, and criminals, that's why I keep trying to tell my audience, the worst word is the feds. It's like saying Dracula coming. It's like saying five. When you say the feds, that's like saying 50 tornadoes is coming in the world of crime. A lot of criminals make sure that whatever they do is not fed. They make sure they don't have a certain amount. They make sure they don't cross the Fed. They make sure they do state crimes. You used to hear growing up in the Fed is better than the state. There ain't no way being in Illinois where my woman and my kids could see me all the time better than me being halfway across the country where your mama can't come see you. But if that's what they say, your mama said, your mama, Diddy mama, got to go all the way across the country to see him. She can't, if you in the state, your baby mama could come see you every week. If you're in the Fed, your baby mama probably only going to come see you once or twice a year. She can't fly out there every weekend. So you ain't getting no visits. So I don't know how no visits and no contact with your family is good, but if they say that, Michael, people be saying all type of shit. People be saying all type of shit. All that shit speculation. I don't do speculation. I'll give you a bunch of scenarios. If I do speculation, I'm going to speculate this could happen or this or this or this or this. I'm going to give you the full speculation of all the possibilities. I'm never going to speculate, oh, it's going to be this, when it could be this, 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 and this in real life. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. The problem with when you go to prison, that's why nobody want to go to prison, because not especially feds, because there is no it's gonna be this. I don't really talk about stuff, Tyson, that that is speculation. I mean, what you want me to say? That's just you. Like you got no. I don't know. Based on what? You saying that based on what? Like you got no basis. You just saying stuff. I can't talk like the chat. I can't say just baseless, just splurting out stuff like that. I can't tell you where they finna send him. How? What? Plus, that don't really make no sense. Oh, okay. Well, that don't mean they're gonna send him to Colorado. He might end up in New Orleans, Texas, Florida. It's a federal case, which means he's gonna go anywhere in the United States. So he could go. He could be in Massachusetts, where it's not that far at first. He could be close to New York at first. I don't know what Trump gonna do. I don't do speculation. Yeah, I don't do speculation. I only do facts. You know what I'm saying? Diddy will be just fine. You've been working in the federal prison system. Okay. If you say so. I can't take your word for it, though, not on the internet. You just a worker. And which facility you worked at and what kind of work you did and all that. You know what I'm saying? Which joint you was at. Yeah, which joint. Now they might put him, in the little special like the PC type place since he high profile. Maybe. So brother Dwayne, ain't nobody been getting poked at none of the places you've been worked at. Nobody ain't been getting shanked up. Ain't been no shankings. But they might put him. They might put him as a, like a where they put the punks at. So it's possible that they put him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's possible. He'll be segregated. Yeah. Yeah. He'll be segregated. You're right about that. He'll be segregated. But shit. The guards is a motherfucker. Usually a high profile person like that. You know what I mean? He definitely won't be respected for his crimes though. Whew. So yeah, they'll have to segregate him. But like I said, we don't want to do speculation because he could go in front of the judge and the judge could be like, okay, time served, and he walk right back out. I just don't. I just want to paint the whole gamut. I don't want to paint that hit this bad's gonna happen or this good's gonna happen. So I'm trying to let the people know, and I'm really trying to let the brothers know there's still a dice roll. So when they roll the dice and he walk out of there, that did not have to happen. Is my point. So yeah, they could roll the dice, and he could walk right out of there. They say time served, give him like 2 or 3 years probation or a year probation or 18 months. That could happen. But we got judges here that'll do that. And then we got judges here will max them out. And so this is why your lawyer is always trying to make sure they get your case in front of a certain judge. Now, I don't believe that your lawyer could get you moved in front of a certain judge on a Fed case. On the state case, your judge could ask for a new venue, and then you'll be in a judge that's a little more friendly. I don't know about the Fed case, and I don't know about this judge and what this judge, how he functions. The judge, might just have some leniency. The judge might not like the case. The judge might say, y'all got this man here on some bullshit. Okay, go home. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, the feds was some lames with this case. You know what I'm saying? It was a lame ass case. You know what I'm saying? Somebody need to get fired. Like the case was lame. You know what I mean? Like what kind of case is that? You know what I'm saying? It was a lame. The way they put the case on was lame as hell to me. Like somebody need to get fired. Cause come on, what kind of case is this? You know, they just was messing up. Cause I sure would have arrested D-Rock right off the top, whether he talk or not. Why he ain't get arrested? He was there for a lot of that stuff. I don't know why Lil Rod wasn't there testifying. I just don't know. It's like they left out. That's why I say, that's why I keep saying, I don't believe this case had nothing to do with Diddy. I've been saying that. I believe they went and took them pictures out, all them famous people out of there, and they had to do something to cover up why they ran in this house. And I believe this whole case is to cover up the real freak offs and all the billionaires and millionaires that be at them freak offs. That's what I believe with this case. This case is a cover up to cover up what's really going on and to change the image of a freak off. And now a freak off is just three people. That's one of the main reasons he walked, because everybody thought the freak offs was a bunch of people. And so imagine you're a jury and you just know the freak off is all these Hollywood celebrities and musicians and actors. And then you get to court and it's just Diddy and a chick and a dude. And then you're going to be like, this ain't no, what is this? And you can't tell me they didn't know that. This, to me, this case was a brainwashing tactic to brainwash people to change they to help these billionaires and millionaires to take them from under suspicion. So now nobody will suspect no big giant freak off. Now freak off is just three people. Before this case, a freak off was a bunch of people. We thought all kind of people was there. Now they totally erased that. It's genius. That's what I believe. I believe this was an effort to hide situations. I believe they ran in there and they got that information and they got all them pictures. Even at the place where he beat up Cassie, I believe all them rooms was filled and them people had checked out. I believe them people had checked out. I don't believe it was just him and her on that whole floor. I believe it was full of celebrities up in there, and I believe that hotel deleted all that footage, even the whole of the whole week of that whole day, that whole 4 or 5 days. I believe all that footage has been deleted, and I believe that one guard that took his phone and copied that footage before they deleted it all, he possibly gonna come up unalive because they're like, you shouldn't have did that. It's the reason we deleted this stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe. I never believed this case had nothing to do with what they presented. I'm like, this is a cover up. This is a cover up. They trying to change the image of a freak off. They did a good job. Now a freak off. That's why everybody like, man, let Diddy go home. This is a freak off. He just in there with a couple of hoes. You know, so everybody like, what? Because everybody thought a freak off was something else. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Everybody thought it was something else. They did a good job. So now freak off because Diddy had cameras all over his house and was illegally recording people and drugging people. He was putting stuff in all the champagne, and everybody didn't know the champagne was spiked. The whole party is passed out. You wake up, they did all kind of stuff to you, and it's all recorded. Everybody know what was really going on. None of that have he been charged for. None of that he been charged for. Just they tried to tell me just him and the chick in the room. Now he not free, but he was he only got 2 charges. Cool J. He only got 2 prostitution charges. He didn't get the RICO. He didn't get the racketeering and other stuff. But I believe it was a cover-up. I believe they had to teach him a lesson, and I believe they had to go confiscate those pictures. And I believe they had to change the minds of the public and sell us a new image of a freak-off. And they did that. A freak-off is because when I first heard freak-off, ain't no way I thought it was 3 people. I thought a freak-off was 50 to 100, 200 people. I thought that was a freak-off. You can't tell me no freak-off is no 2 people, no 3 people. I don't believe that's a freak-off. And I don't believe only him and Cassie and a dude was in that hotel. I believe that whole floor was full. He rented that whole floor. And all them people that went home, and they was there packing up, getting ready to go, and Casey snatched some film footage in his phone with footage in it and tried to go and give it to that trainer so they could blackmail him. That's what I believe. And that I believe that trainer told her to snatch that stuff. That's what I believe. I believe the trainer told her, grab that stuff, babe, and bring it down, and we'll fix his ass. And then she got second thoughts. And she grabbed it and she stopped in the hallway. You could look. She grabbed it, she went on the hall. She had plenty of time to be gone. And she stopped. She stopped. So now when that failed, that's when her and that obviously Russian spy or something like that, he ain't no regular dude, that's when they come up with the idea, well, let's just blackmail him. And then they got the $30 million. But that ain't no damn freak off. Them wasn't no freak off. They didn't show the real freak offs. They protected the elite. They protected all these Hollywood people and all these politicians and all that. So when you talking about Trump gonna pardon him, I bet he is. And we also gonna leave that right there. Yeah, I bet he is. We ain't gonna say why. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna say why. That's what I believe. And I believe now that they took care of that, now they're gonna get rid of Diddy. I believe Diddy is gone. They're gonna get rid of Diddy. I believe Diddy know too much. I believe Diddy know too much. I believe he got to go. That's what I believe. I believe he's done. He's a liability. That's what I believe. Yep, I believe he's a liability. I believe he got to go. Well, he's not doing fair time. He can do 20. Yes, he's doing fair time, bro. Cool J, he doing fair time. He got 2 fair cases for prostitution. That's 20 years, bro. He facing 20, bro. Now, if they give him probation, all that, yeah. But L Cool J, he facing 20, bro. These are fair cases. Don't let them fool you on the internet and make you think that a fair case, that there's a light fair case. There's no such thing as a light fair case. He got found guilty on two counts of prostitution. He looked, it's 10 years each. They trying to say, oh, they might give him, but he got to wait till sentencing. So L Cool J, answer this. How they going to tell you what he going to do? And it ain't sentencing, ain't happening yet. This was just a verdict. This not the sentencing. He got to come back for the sentencing. Him and his son, he'll be arrested for that too. And most likely they looking for the pizza boxes. Remember he was on the phone telling his son, did you get rid of the pizza boxes? Yeah, it's all speculative, but it's a Fed case. L Cool J, nobody wants no Fed case. There is no light Fed case. There's no such thing as a light Fed case. That's why I be cracking up, bro. I know the streets is like, but there is no light Fed case. And there is no such thing as an easy Fed case, like a light Fed case. Not that I ever heard of. You know what I'm saying? That's speculation, Big Barnett. I can't do that over here when people watching me. I could say what I think if I could think. So if I could think what the judge gonna do, I would tell you. I think the judge gonna do this, but I don't really know. I don't have a clue. So I can't give you no type of. I couldn't tell y'all nothing on that because when you stand in front of a judge, it's a surprise. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He was on the phone. He told his sons to get rid of the pizza boxes. I know Pizza Gate is when they was ordering children and they was calling them pizza. So I think it's related to that. I'm sure children is involved. That's why I said this ain't the case. They could not get him for the real case because it would incriminate too many billionaires and millionaires. They not arresting him for the real case. This is a fake case. I've been saying this from the very beginning. This is a fake case. This is a fake case. This was a raid to find any pictures or anything he had trying to extort people. He had got besides himself, started threatening people, started talking about extorting people and showing the pictures he had of them. And so they had to go find them pictures. They had to show him extort who. But now, you know, the people he playing with, they don't got to find you guilty. You're playing with the big people. They don't have to rush to get rid of you. That's what a lot of people understand. He playing with the big wigs. They don't care nothing about this trial. When they want you going bye-bye. Period. And they got all the time in the world to do it. So ain't no telling what's gonna happen with dude. But I'm sure it's gonna go bad because I believe he know too much, and I don't believe they can trust him. You see how he did Cassie. See how he told Cassie and showed her the footage and said, if you don't do what I tell you, I'm gonna send this to everybody and I'm gonna send it to your mother. That show you he was doing some blackmail. So now if his whole house is wired and he's filming everybody in his house and dudes are sneaking off in the bathroom doing that and he got the footage, has he been blackmailing people? And did he blackmail the wrong person? And I believe, and his reputation now is that he got footage on everybody, so he got to go. He got to go. Trust me, he got to go. He know too much. He be lucky if he make it back to sentencing. On my soul. They can OD him because they showed everybody. You know what I'm saying? They got him. They can OD him like they did Jimi Hendrix. You know what I'm saying? They already got him set up. If he OD, everybody gonna be like, oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? Look, they already got him taking all this stuff. I mean, they got him. You know what I'm saying? And all they got to do is systematically do what they got to do. He's already been totally humiliated. Ain't nobody going to steal, ain't going to want to touch him with a 10-foot pole. Who going to want to be around him? All the people that'll be cheering for him, you know what they're going to look like to the world? You know what you'll look like if he walked out of there and you was cheering and stuff? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to give brothers game. Like if you're on this internet cheering for Diddy, you got to be one of the most stupidest people in the world. You got to be an idiot. Sometimes it's best to shut up. You don't want to be cheering for him in the public because automatically you're going to be in the PDF file because everybody going to be like, why you cheering for him? What you be doing? Because I know me, if you just cheering for him too much, I'm going to think you're a weirdo. I'd definitely be looking at you crazy. Especially if you like a black man and you like, man, they let Diddy go, free Diddy and all that. I'll be looking at you like, oh, I wouldn't fuck with you. I wouldn't fuck with you. Pause. Like, what kind of man is this? This nigga here. So you just love Diddy, huh? That you want to marry the motherfucker? Nigga, get away from me. What kind of bitch nigga is you? Oh, you love Diddy? Okay. All right, cool. What, you know him or something? No, I don't know him, but Diddy the man, Diddy. That's it. I be looking at you crazy. We don't really like nobody but our father and our grandfather and our sons. We don't be liking no dudes. Not no real G's. We don't really like nobody like that. I don't really like nobody like that. I don't like no celebrities or nothing like that. They cool. But I don't like them like that. I don't even know them. So I don't like nobody I don't know. Not like that. Maybe if you young, you'll be a fan. That makes sense. You ain't grown up yet. You know, you in high school. I ain't never did that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't like nobody since I was a kid. When I was a kid, I used to like people and stuff. Muhammad Ali and Dr. J and stuff. I don't be liking nobody now though. I ain't like Michael Jordan. I was too old. I was grown. You know what I'm saying? I ain't like no goddamn Michael Jordan. He cool. You know what I'm saying? Go Bulls. But Michael, I ain't no Michael. Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-mm. I like titties and ass. I don't like dicks. Whatever. I don't even like titties and ass if I can't touch them. It's just some titties and ass. If I can't get none, you ain't nothing. You just a chick out there. I ain't like chicks I mess with. I don't like just chicks walking around. Chicks walking around saying Diddy should have picked him. I mean, hey, you know, we already know it's losers out here. I mean, I'm just not into the weird. I don't do weirdo stuff. And I grew up in this. I was born in 1958, so I grew up. We played baseball, basketball, football, ride bikes. We were active. We did active sports, active. You know what I'm saying? We didn't do. I didn't grow up in the idol worship era. The younger brothers and sisters, they grew up in the idol worship era. I didn't grow up in idol worship. They couldn't. You couldn't go to your phone and look at your idol all day. You had to wait till whatever show you like come on TV. The young people, you could go and you could look at your idol all day on the phone. So I didn't grow up in the idol era. So it's weird to me. You go see the Isley Brothers, you go see the Ohio Players, you go see everybody. It's not like, oh, the Isley Brothers, you know what I'm saying? They ain't no better than the Commodores or nobody else, you go see, you know what I'm saying? We ain't have, you know what I'm saying? And then it was toxic masculine. Our daddies was toxic masculine. A lot of these young dudes, y'all daddy gay. Your daddy a bitch nigga. Y'all got a lot of pussy ass daddies. You know what I'm saying? I would know with all due respect. Your daddy a bitch. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, so my father, my father didn't do no weirdo shit. My father didn't worship no men or nothing like that. I ain't never seen my daddy talk about no men like that. I ain't never seen my daddy talk about no men in my life. Never. I couldn't tell you who my daddy's favorite man was. Like what? That shit weird. My daddy didn't worship nobody. I can't tell you not one person my daddy worshiped. I never heard no man coming out of his mouth. That's a fact. I never heard Randolph no man coming out of his mouth. My daddy wasn't every day shopping at the mall like Jeezy pussy ass. You know, nigga, every day you shopping at the mall. My mama was shopping at the mall. My daddy sitting down eating some ice cream and popcorn, wait till she get through. What kind of men y'all is? Every day shopping at the mall. No, my daddy didn't watch sports like that. I watch sports like that. My daddy didn't watch sports like that. My daddy didn't. The only person got the basketball game on is me, and I was a kid. I'm the one turning the basketball game on. My daddy ain't watching that shit like that. Hell no. None of my friends' daddies. That was little boy shit. Little boys like Dr. J. I know grown ass man don't give no fuck about no goddamn Dr. J. You a grown ass man. Our daddies was grown men. They wasn't weirdos. They didn't do all that. That's little boy shit. Grown black men now doing little boy shit. Go look at pictures. You ain't gonna see no black man with no sneakers on. Show me some black men back in the 50s with sneakers on. Show me a black man back in the day got a whole bunch of sneakers. What man buying a whole bunch of sneakers? Like Fat Joe licking the bottom of his sneakers and got sneakers stacked up like a woman, shopped like a bitch. Got a whole bunch of diamonds on. Diamonds is a girl best friend. You ain't noticed that the women got a whole bunch of the men got sparkly shit. You see my shit don't sparkle. You know when I get a chain made, it's just gonna be a chain. You know I'm not finna put them sparkly diamonds in my shit, looking like Elizabeth Taylor and shit. These young niggas is bitches. They look like hoes. I can't wait till I start rapping. I'm gonna be saying all that shit too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna be with the bullshit. I'm gonna be dissing all these young niggas how they function. I'm gonna be with the bullshit too. I'm gonna have me a whole new group of young niggas doing it my way. We not sparkly, nigga. Yeah, we not pretty and we not sparkle. We don't wear sparkles. You know what I'm saying? It mean that they ain't been on the ground. It mean that ever since he bought them, they been in the box. He can lick the soul because it ain't never touched the ground. A big chain sparkling, you know? Men, we wear metal, like we wear straight metal. I don't want my shit glittering. That's my woman's jewelry supposed to be sparkly. Women wear sparkly dresses and stuff. You know, I don't sparkle. Women wear sparkly. Men don't sparkle. We solid. Sparkly. I'm getting some jewelry made soon. It's gonna be all solid metal. It ain't gonna be a sparkle on that bitch. Ain't gonna have bitch ass. These niggas wear panties. Their hero is Young Thug. You know what I'm saying? A girl thug. I don't do sparkly shit. I do nickel plated chrome. You know what I'm saying? You might see some sparks, nigga. I do sparks. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker. Man, I ain't doing no sparkly shit. That girls used to wear sparkly stuff. Men didn't wear sparkles. Men didn't wear no sparkles. What man wears sparkles? Men always was solid. You know what I mean? He never had no men had no whole bunch of bangles on and shit on his wrist. These new rappers, they got all these all these bangles and stuff up. You know what I'm saying? That's why we say no Diddy, you know? Y'all know Diddy. Y'all know Diddy feminine. Y'all know Diddy don't like women. Y'all know Diddy wasn't there watching them women. Diddy was watching dude. Diddy wasn't watching the women. Diddy was watching the Punisher. Diddy was getting off on the men. What kind of man sitting up watching porn? Porn is gay. Porn is gay. Because you got to watch a naked dude. His ass all in the camera. Think about it. So that's how he was getting off. Remember the lady asked him, said, are you watching that to get excited for me? Asked him, was he watching that man do that to that woman to get excited? They were saying Diddy was watching these men do stuff to get excited. They said he was taking their stuff and rubbing it on them. Diddy just had women with him so he won't look like what he is. This is an old trick that started back in the 70s where these men that didn't like women would have these beautiful women with them to get the attention of the men. So this is how they get men to look at them by having women with them. You know what I'm saying? Is that this how they get the men to look at them by having women with them and carrying themselves kind of like a supposed to be a pimp. But a lot of the pimps is gay. Don Juan said, maybe I shouldn't tell this story. Don Juan said he went to Vegas and he met Liberace. And Liberace told Don Juan to send him his breast prostitute. And he said somebody knocked on Liberace's door, and when he opened the door, Don Juan said it was him. And Liberace said, I thought you said you was going to send your best hoe. And Don Juan said, I'm my best hoe. And he went in there and did whatever he needed to do to Liberace and got the money. Y'all don't see how sissified Don Juan look? He don't look like a sissy. I'm just saying. I ain't got nothing against sissies or nothing. I'm not anti-LGBTQ. I'm just saying. I know. That's why I don't be saying stuff, Michael, because the truth is an offense. And these people brainwashed, so they don't want to hear no real, they want to hear some bullshit. If you look at a lot of those pimps carry themselves like bisexual men. They got their hand all out in their cup, and they be prissing around like bitches. They be looking masculine to y'all. Pimps look masculine to y'all. They don't look like they go any kind of way. They don't look like they'll do something strange for some change. Nails all done and shit. Yeah, bitch, you need to get out and get my money, bitch. What is wrong with you, ho? Look at Cat Williams. Cat Williams ain't a bitch. I don't listen to nigga, listen to Cat. Cat Williams ain't a bitch, nigga. Y'all don't see Cat Williams as a bitch. He is not masculine at all. There's not a masculine bone in his body. And he always talk about somebody. Man, pimps is bitches, new ones and old ones. They'll do any goddamn thing. You say the new thing is a masculine pimp. The new thing is masculine gays too. Big old muscle-bound sissies. Who you think in the gym? What man on there looking at his body all day? Them are sissies, man. It's the new thing, the masculine sissy. A lot of them strong men, they gay, bro. They weirdos. They come from Greece, the Greeks. Say in the last days, men will become lovers of themselves, looking at each other's muscles, touching on each other's muscles. That come from Greece. They used to take the little boys and do the little boys. Where did the Greeks take the boys and abuse the boys? What was the name of the building where they used to take the boys? The name of the building was the gymnasium. The name of the buildings where the Greeks used to take the little boys was called a gymnasium. The gym. Go look it up. You take your ass to prison and go hang out with them niggas pumping all them weights and see if he don't grape your ass. No, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to talk about his goofy ass no more, so I deleted it. Sometimes I have a vibe, and then, you know what I mean? He became, when you become real obnoxious to me, I don't even want to mention you no more. I don't even want to talk about that motherfucker no more. I'm through with him. You know, I done blocked him. I don't want, you know what I'm saying? He don't exist to me no more. So I ain't feel like, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'll never see him no more or be talking about him no more. I erase you off my internet and everything. You know what I'm saying? So you just be a content creator out there somewhere. I be removing certain things out of my life. Like if you ain't own nothing, I might not go on no big campaign for everybody else to remove you, but I remove when once you negative to me, I remove you out of my life. Yeah, man. Mess around, go to prison and hang out with the muscle men. That's what's gonna grave you. A lot of them football players and wrestlers and stuff, man, listen. Man, listen. Football players, basketball players, Dennis Rodman was strong. Dwight Howard was strong. I don't know. I ain't gonna really be talking about dudes like that. You know, that's over with. I said what I said, and that's it. And he can go to hell in a handbasket, and I just move on. I got too much stuff to do. I don't be campaigning against no dude. Just kick him out the circle and keep moving. You know what I'm saying? Same way I started watching him, I just stopped. That's all. He don't interest me no more. You know what I'm saying? He an enemy, a op. You know what I'm saying? Keep reparations out your mouth. I ain't the type to go all on this page typing. I don't do all that. You a loser. I just, X you out and keep on moving. You heard the man prison worse than the woman prison worse than the man prison. I don't know where you heard that at. It depends. The woman prison is bad for the women, and the man prison is bad for the men. I don't know because you got different prisons in different places. So I don't know because you got to understand, Michael. When they talk about prison, they talk about state prison. So I don't know about state prison in Minnesota. I don't know about, but I know about state prison in Illinois with these GDs, BDs, Black Stones, and Vice Lords and Four Corner Hustlers. I bet you that. I tell you, this not sweet in Illinois. I tell you, it's heavy gang banging. You see what I'm saying? So everybody ain't like that. I know it ain't sweet in California with them Crips and them Bloods and them Serranos and that. I can tell you that for sure. So I don't know about everywhere because New York State Prison ain't gonna be like Minnesota State Prison. But I can tell you in these gang cities where these gangs go to prison in these states, this shit ain't no joke. I can tell you that. 'Cause I can tell if you go to prison in Illinois, I can tell you it ain't. I can tell you that. Yeah, I can tell you that ain't. That's not gonna be sweet at all. Okay, you know what I'm saying? That's not gonna be sweet at all because when you go to prison, it's gang culture every day, and it's on gang. Whether you're in the county jail or you're in prison, it's on gang every day, every night. Gang. Everything is gang. Everything. I remember I called my boy and shit. He called me. My boy called me for prison. He was locked up here in Illinois. I was like, man, how's it going, man? He said, man, Ram, I'm so sick of these niggas, man. He's like, what? He's like, man, there's always something with them, man. I remember he told me, he said, you know, they could sleep with these punks if they got so much time. I'm like, what? He said, yeah, you know, if they got this much time and they got to be here a long time, they could sleep with the men. I said, are you kidding? But that's his particular gang. I ain't going to put that gang out there. My guys don't do that. But, you know, you got to be violating to do that. But certain gang culture, they allow that if you got a much amount of time. And he said they just get on his nerve every day because he was the big, you know, he was the big man. So every day they bugging him. It's a problem every day. So when you get locked up with gangs, it's a problem every day, like every day. I mean, maybe I'm exaggerating every day, but it's constantly gang. You know, it's constantly gang. It's gang, period. There ain't no regular, you know, neutrons is, you know, boom. You know what I'm saying? It's straight up, you know, if you GD, it's GD. Every day is GD. You know what I'm saying? In the Illinois State Prison, you BD is BD every day. Or you in the county jail or the prison, yeah, it's that every day. Every day, that's what it is. Every second, every day, that's what it is. Even on the chill days, it's whatever your gang is. It's gang politics every day, all day, every day. The only way something gonna stay small is if it's between two people in the same gang. If anything pop off between this dude from this gang and this dude from that gang, the whole deck could go up. It could be a Pokemon fest. You know what I'm saying? It's a constant headache. It's definitely not smooth. It's a constant headache. Constant. You gotta do 3 years. You ain't here with a dude gotta do 30. Here, your mentality and his mentality is like night and day. He ain't going on. So imagine how he act. He not going home, so he could crash out. He ain't go home anyway. You don't want to crash out. You got 3 years. He constantly try to get you to crash out, so you end up with more time. So now you got to maneuver between this dude trying to get you to crash out. And don't let nobody know your release date coming up, or they're going to try to send you off so you stay in there. You know what I'm saying? It's Cook County Jail, too. I mean, you got to wake up every day prepared to poke somebody. Every day. Even if ain't nothing going on. That's what you got to be on. For me, I was already crazy. I already had issues. So then 4 months in the county jail, that didn't help none. Only thing helped me, I got out and met a queen, had a daughter, and because the queen was there, I had to calm down because the queen. So being around that queen like that, you know, helped me. You know what I'm saying? Helped me de-escalate some. You know what I mean? So yeah, brothers, that's why I be having these lives like this about this, telling y'all to stay out of jail, stay out of prison, don't be doing crime, because it's gonna change your life forever, and you're gonna have to try to change it back. And the fact you try to change it back, that means you didn't change it forever. Because you're just supposed to be a certain way. You ain't supposed to have to change and change back and all that. You know, you don't want to go through that. You know, you live in a world where if dude on the block an asshole, you can avoid him. But imagine dude on the block, and every time you got to see him in jail or prison, every day you got to see the asshole. you can't get away from. See, in our life, we can get away from because you free. So you ain't got to be around dude. But imagine every day you got to see 4 extra, and he in there trying to be extra. Every day you got to see him hollering and all that. You know what I'm saying? Every day you wake up, you got to see him. Every day you got to think it. One day you're going to have to do him ugly because he's going to go too far because he think he's super gorilla. So every day you think about, I wish this nigga would. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, it is what it is. It's prison. It's jail. And most of the people in there don't want to go to jail. They trying to make some money, but they doing something illegal and get caught. That's all. Or they get into something. You know what I mean? They get caught. Or somebody try to attack them and they do something, but then they get charged for it. They don't get no self-defense. There's a whole lot of stuff, man. Then you got weirdos that took their baby and put their baby in the bathtub with the hot water real hot and scald the baby. You know what I'm saying? Now he locked up. Everybody want to whoop him because he done scald the baby. I mean, you wouldn't even believe it. Dude in there, he want to commit suicide because his baby mama just told him she want to leave. He get off the phone. You know what I'm saying? He crazy. He'll fight anybody right now. Them the most dangerous ones, the ones that get that bad news on the phone. Call their baby mama, call their wife, and they hear one of their homies in the background at their wife house. They're like, who, that's Jeff over there? They could be mad as hell. Same dude you run around with as soon as you go to jail, he trying to knock your wife back. Your boy. That's why I don't be hanging out with nobody like that. Because 9 out of 10 people going to be snakes. 9 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? I don't do friends and stuff, but we ain't getting no money some type of way. Then nah. You know, so you young brothers watch the Diddy situation and just stay out of trouble. That's all I could tell you. I mostly use this for that. You know what I'm saying? Because anywhere it go, that man just messed up a lot of years in his life, a lot of money, a lot of reputation. And he already got a lot of enemies out here, like the liquor company. And it's only just began. But it is going to be weird watching black people cheer for him like he won something. You know, it's just crazy. A brother got to do get involved in a bunch of crazy stuff, go to jail. Then black people cheer for him like somebody was against him. And like, yeah, free Diddy, they trying to do Diddy, and Diddy did it to himself. They ain't trying to do nothing. He did it. But black people gonna be like, they did this. They was after Diddy. How somebody after you when you the one doing the crimes? Make that shit make some damn sense. Like, they after Diddy. Yeah, free Diddy. And black people gonna be out there cheering for Diddy. Somebody that'll abuse their daughters and their mamas and their sisters. They'll be out there cheering for this loser. We be looking bad. Just because he black. And Diddy ain't shit. Ain't never been shit. Ain't done nothing for nobody. Robbed every one of his artists. Everything went for him. Everything he touched turned to shit except for him. Never did nothing for no black person ever. Every artist worked with him lost. He ruined the music industry. Made it so we couldn't get in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, not really. But he didn't get the main charges, Shelly. Out of 5 charges, he only got 2 for prostitution. I'm gonna change the title. I was rushing. I'm gonna change the title to somebody else. I'm gonna change it to Diddy. Only got charged with 2 out of 3. I'm gonna change it to that. But yeah, he only got 2 out of the 3 charges, but he still could be facing 20 years. Well, he faced 20 years, but it could be anything. They could give him time served. They could run him concurrently 10 years. They could give him probation. You never know. It's all up to the judge now, Shelley. If the judge is a hater, the judge could give him the whole 20. Well, the judge only be able to give him 19 because he served a year. So the judge could give him the 19. The judge could give him 15. The judge could give him 10 if he want to. You know what I'm saying? They might not want to give him 20 because they might run him concurrently. So the max he might be able to face is 10. So facing 10, they might give him 7. They might give him 5. They might give him time served. They might give him probation. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? I know it's going to be embarrassing watching black people cheer for him. That's going to be so embarrassing. I don't know what. We tripped out. Every time I'm black excellent, Diddy ain't did nothing for black people. What the hell he did for us? Diddy have done nothing for black people. He haven't put us further into the music industry. We don't have no type of distribution. We don't have nowhere to put our music. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. So I don't every artist he robbed, Total didn't do nothing. Biggie unalive, Mace had to leave. Everybody, you can't name nobody who's successful over there. And the artist did nothing but him. That's it. Him and Suge. Ain't none of them nothing. Jay Prince ain't nothing either. What did he do? Nothing. Manage Lil Wayne and them and take their money. But as far as opportunity, he ain't providing no opportunity for nobody but himself. That's why we got to go to Spotify. That's why we got to go to Apple Music. Because none of the blacks provide no way for us to make our money from our music. We went further backwards. We was doing better when I was a kid. This new generation and Diddy and all them, they went all the way into the hole. We had Motown. We used to, at least you could used to put out 45s or put albums out, make some money. At least you could put some CDs out. You know what I'm saying? Now, shoot. I mean, I think the only one you might be able to make some money with is probably maybe on YouTube. You could probably make some money. Now they trying to force Spotify to pay more money. We lost everything. Diddy took all them people masters and juiced them dry and then gave them back to them when there wasn't no money in it. He been a scumbag. But they like him. Some people like him. I don't really care for him. Yeah, Gucci Man was crazy. Always was crazy. Ain't did nothing. Only person got the money is him. The only two that tried to really do something was Baby. Baby helped Drake and them. They really got rich. Master P tried to help his artists, but his artists, you know, I don't think his artists listened. But Cash Money did real well. They looked out for theirs. No, he didn't beat his charges. He had 5 charges. He found guilty on 2. He found guilty on the 2 prostitution charges. He beat the ones. The reason I say beat the feds because he beat that life sentence. He beat the racketeering. He beat the racketeering. So he beat the cases that carry the most time. I'm gonna go clean the title up. I was rushing. Yeah, Snoop give P his credit. P did pretty good business. Yeah, I know he wasn't getting his real charge. The jury's dumb. I don't think the jury is dumb. The prosecution didn't put on a good case. Jane Doe, all she said is, well, did he pay her bills? Did he pay her bills? She liked being around. So there was no case there with Jane Doe. Jane Doe wanted to do it. So how could you charge him for a chick that want to be there? Right? The fingerprints got lost for the car bomb with Kid Cudi. They had to throw that whole charge out. They didn't subpoena D-Rock. They didn't subpoena Lil Rod. They didn't subpoena. Lil Rod was there, seen to everything. And when you didn't subpoena him, they didn't subpoena D-Rock and pressure him. D-Rock should have been charged as a co-conspirator. So the prosecution did a horrible job. But like I said, like I keep saying, the case wasn't the real case. They wasn't trying to do a good job. They was trying to cover the fact that they ran in his house and got all them pictures and video of these big celebrities. And once they got that footage of them big celebrities and secured as much of that as they could, they had to come up with some case. So they put this case together, a small case that would save the superstars that was there. So nobody would think that there was more people at that hotel and they had all checked out. And nobody would think that the freak offs was a lot of people. And they did a good job making people think the freak offs was just 2 or 3 people. So now like that ain't, see, they ain't lying. So they brainwashed everybody and got you thinking that was the freak offs. That was not the freak offs. The freak offs was not the Punisher, Cassie, and Diddy. That was not the freak offs. So mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. Now all of the big celebrities won't be suspect no more. It's smart. They cleared everybody. That shit was smart though. They cleared everybody. They got rid of the whole conspiracy. There's no more big freak off conspiracy. It cleared. They got rid of it. And that was smart. They protected a lot of people. That was smart. That's what they did. That's why nobody took the case serious. The reason that a lot of charges were thrown out because people went into it thinking a freak off was a bunch of people. So now imagine you're a jury and all on the internet you're thinking the freak offs, and you get to court and freak offs is a dude and two chicks. Well, two dudes and a chick. Diddy filming, the Punisher, and Cassie. Or the other lady. So everybody like, this ain't no real case. And they fine with that. You right. This ain't no real case. This ain't. So that's why right away, that shit was genius though. Right away, they already knew it was going to be hard to win the case because they already knew they wasn't showing you the real freak-offs. They showed you the fake freak-offs. They didn't show you the real freak-offs. You know what I'm saying? That's some deep. That was smart, though. But they did not show us the real freak-offs. They showed us the fake freak-offs. They showed us the fake freak-offs. They showed us him beating up Casey after everybody had went home. Everybody had went home. That man rented this whole floor, and all these rooms was filled. And when you see the Casey video and him beating her up, everybody had went home already. She probably was trying to steal the footage and get out of there. It was at the end of the event. The event was over. They're making you think that only one was there was Casey and Diddy. No, this floor was full. They're not going to show you no video footage of who went in and out that hotel. That footage has been totally destroyed. Yeah, they showed you a domestic relationship and had all the people on this floor. Anybody with any sense look at the Casey thing will know the event was over. Nobody came out of not one room. And they not letting him rent a whole floor unless he paid for every room. And why would he rent a whole floor and pay for every room if it ain't nobody in the room? These rooms was full and people was up and down them halls. And that man had a way where he could put electronic cameras in every room and he could send that video and charge for that video on the dark web. And he was walking around with a veil on, and a lot of them people had veils on, had their face covered, and the only people that didn't have their face covered was the ones that sold the video, which is Cassie. Cassie is the one that they used to sell this probably to Saudis and everybody. It probably cost you $250,000 to log in to see it. They used the celebrities. Used the celebrities to sell it on the dark web. This was a dark web operation, and I wouldn't be surprised if children was involved and all bestiality and everything. Nobody would know. But I bet you this whole floor was full of people. So they did a great job, even with editing this down and showing you just them in there. And he got this whole hotel, and that's it. And it's only them. There's footage from the end of the event. The event was over already. Show us footage when they first got there. Show us footage when they checked in. I bet you'll never see the footage when they checked in. I bet you that stuff got destroyed. When they destroyed this footage, they just wasn't destroying that fight. They destroyed all the footage from the hotel, so you cannot tell who came in and out that hotel. And somebody took their phone and took a picture of the fight part. But nobody took a picture of the whole thing. When it comes to Diddy and how much time he gonna get, listen, you know how much time you get when you know too much? And we just gonna leave that right there. Y'all don't understand. Diddy know too much. He know too much. Diddy know too much. And you fill in those blank spaces. The people he dealing with, they ain't in no hurry. They don't care nothing about this case. This case had nothing to do with Diddy. This case had to do with changing the image of a freak off. It was 100% successful. Now everybody think a freak off ain't no freak off. They think, man, let Diddy go. That ain't no freak off. He ain't did nothing. That's just him and his women. They just having, man, that's why everybody say throw it out. They knew that. They know that. You think they stupid? You think they don't know everybody gonna say this is a nonsense case? You think they care about them other charges? No. They got enough charges to lock Diddy up, to give him 4 years and lock him up and make sure he never walk back out. You know what I'm saying? They got enough, they can give enough time for him to be unalived. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. They locked him up where Epstein was locked up at, right? It was, to me, it was all a play to cover up all the people that was in here and all the people that was on whatever they took out his house and all the people that's in the pizza boxes that he told his son to get rid of the pizza boxes. So, hey, this is not what everybody think this is. And Diddy is not in the clear because he know too much. All right? Support the channel. Deuces.